Okay, so it says here that we are at stage 6, paragraph page 431, and our last headword was sting, new work type of lesson. Okay, so let's start with our revision. Okay, let me just scroll down. Okay, here we go. First question, ready?
Okay.
Okay, so when do we use the auxiliary verb do in a positive sentence with the present simple tense? When do we use the auxiliary verb do in a positive sentence with the present simple tense? We use
We
the
use
auxiliary
the
verb do
auxiliary verb
in
do
a positive
in a
sentence
positive
with the
sentence
present
with
simple
the
tense
present simple tense
when we want to be
when we want to be
emphatic.
emphatic.
Very good. When do we usually use the emphatic do? When do we usually use the emphatic do? We usually use
We usually
the
use
emphatic
the
do
emphatic do
when we want
when
to
we want
deny
to
something
deny
that
something
someone
that
has
someone
said
has
because
said
we
because
know
we
it is
know
not
it
true.
is not true.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. For example,
For
if
example,
somebody
if
says
somebody
you
says
don't eat
you don't
enough
eat
vegetables,
enough
I
vegetables,
can reply,
I can reply,
yes, I do eat
yes, I do eat
enough vegetables.
enough vegetables.
Very good. Reply to this sentence using the emphatic form, please. You don't know what I've got in my pocket. Reply to this sentence using the emphatic form, please. You don't know what I've got in my pocket. Yes, I do
Yes,
know
I do
what
know
you've got
what you got
in your pocket.
in your pocket.
Very good. Tell me another use of the emphatic do. Tell me another use of the emphatic do, please. Another use
Another
of
use
the
of
emphatic
the
do
emphatic do
is in
is
an
in an
exclamation.
exclamation.
Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. I do hate
I do hate
noisy children.
noisy children.
She does write
He does write
beautifully.
beautifully.
Very good. Reply to this sentence using the emphatic form in the past, please. He didn't cycle home yesterday. Reply to this sentence using the emphatic form in the past, please. He didn't cycle home
He did a
yesterday.
cycle from.
Yes,
Uh,
he
uh,
did
yes, he did
cycle home yesterday.
cycle home yesterday.
Very good. Reply to this sentence using the emphatic forms, okay? You can't read quickly. You can't read quickly. Yes, I can
Yes,
read
I
quickly.
can read quickly.
The weather's been good. The weather's been good. No, the
No,
weather
the
has not
weather
been good.
has not been good.
She doesn't love her family. She doesn't love her family. Yes, he
Yes,
does
he
love her
does
family.
love her family.
He came to school early. He came to school early. No, he
No,
didn't
he
come
didn't
to
come to
school early.
school early.
Like, we shouldn't tell him the news. We shouldn't tell him the news. Yes, we should
Yes,
tell
we
him
should
the
tell
news.
him the news.
Very good. Okay, next. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're hitting
You
the
are
table
hitting the
with
table
your hand.
with their hand.
Have you ever hit your head getting into a car? Have you ever hit your head getting into a car? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've
I've,
hit my head
I've hit my hand
getting into a
getting
car.
into a car.
What did happen if you hit a policeman? What did happen if you hit a policeman? If I hit
If I
a
hit
policeman,
a policeman,
he'd arrest me.
he'd arrest me.
Have you ever seen anyone arrested? Have you ever seen anyone arrested? Yes or no?
No,
I've
I've never
never
seen
seen anyone arrested.
anyone arrested.
Very good. Okay, what are the five meanings of the word fair? What are the five meanings of the word fair? The five
The
meanings
five
of the
meanings
word
of
fair
word fair
are fair
is
hair,
are fair care,
industrial, and
industrial,
agricultural fairs,
agricultural fair,
just,
just
moderate,
just moderate,
and fun fair.
and fun fair.
Do people become darker and darker in hair color as we go towards the north of Europe? Do people become darker and darker in hair color as we go towards the north of Europe? No.
No,
People don't become
people don't become
darker and
darker
darker
and
in
darker
hair color
in hair
as
color
we go
as
towards
we go
the
towards
north of Europe.
the north of,
They
north of
become
Europe. They become
fairer
more
and fairer.
fair and fairer.
Very good. Have you ever been to an industrial or agricultural fair? Have you ever been to an industrial or agricultural fair? Yes or no?
No,
I've
I've
never been
I've never
to
been
an industrial
to an industrial
or agricultural
or
fair.
agricultural fair.
Very good. If I ask everyone in this room 20 questions but only ask you two, would that be fair? If I ask everyone in this room 20 questions but only ask you two, would that be fair? No. If you
No,
ask
if you
everyone
ask
in this
everyone
room
in this room
20 questions
20
but
questions,
only
but
ask
only
me two,
ask me to,
it wouldn't be fair.
it wouldn't be fair.
It'd be unfair.
It'll be unfair.
Reggie, do they ever have a fun fair in your town? Do they ever have a fun fair in your town? Yes or no?
Yes,
They sometimes
they
have a
sometimes
fun fair
have a fun fair
in my town.
in my town.
Reggie, do you speak English fairly well now? Do you speak English fairly well now? Yes, I speak
Yes, I
English
speak English
fairly well now.
very well now.
Very good. Is it a great pleasure for you to get up in the morning? Is it a great pleasure for you to get up in the morning? Yes or no?
Yes,
It's a
I,
great pleasure
it's a
for
great
me
pleasure for
to
me
get up in the
to
morning.
get up in the morning
Why? Why? Because
because I notice uh, I notice I have an important meeting.
very good. Do you think it's possible for life to be full of pleasure all the time? Do you think it's possible for life to be full of pleasure all the time? Yes or no?
No,
I don't think
I
it's
don't think
possible
it's
for
possible
life to be
for life
full of
to be
pleasure
full of
all the
pleasure
time.
all the time.
Very good. Do you think it's wrong to use animals for experiments? Do you think it's wrong to use animals for experiments? Yes or no?
No,
I don't
I
think
don't, I
it's
don't
wrong
think it's
to use
wrong to
animals
use
for
animals
experiments.
for experiments.
Very good. When was America discovered by Europeans and who discovered it? When was America discovered by Europeans and who discovered it? America was
America
discovered
was
by
discovered
Europeans
by
in
Europeans in
1492 by
1492
Christopher
by
Columbus
Christopher
or
Columbus
by Leif
or by
Erikson
Leif Erikson
about the year
about
1000.
the year 1000.
Wait, is it in the internet useful for discovering new information? Is the internet useful for discovering new information? Yes, the
Yes,
internet
the internet
is useful
is
for
useful
discovering
for
new
discovering
information.
new information.
Very good. Would you like to be a scientist? Would you like to be a scientist? Yes or no?
No,
I wouldn't like to
I
be a
wouldn't like to
scientist.
be a scientist
Why not? Why not? Because
because science is difficult to me.
very good, same as me. What do we call a paper handkerchief? What do we call a paper handkerchief? We call
We
a
call
paper
a
handkerchief
paper handkerchief
a tissue.
it a tissue.
Tissue.
A tissue.
Very good. How many football divisions are there in your country? How many football divisions are there in your country? There are
There are
5
12,
football
five
divisions
football
in
divisions
my
in my
country.
country.
Which division is your hometown in? Which division is your hometown in? My
My
hometown's in the
hometowns
first
in the
division.
first division.
Very good. The time now is, let's say, 6:30. If I went out of the room and said I'll be back in an hour, at what time would I return? The time now is 6:30. If I went out of the room and said I'll be back in an hour, at what time would I return? If you went out
If you went
of the
out
room and
of the
said
room and
I'll be
said,
back
I'll be
in
back
an hour,
in an
you'd
hour,
return at
you'd return at
7:30.
7:30.
Very good. If on the other hand I went out of the room and said I'll be back within an hour, at what time would I return? If on the other hand I went out of the room and said I'll be back within an hour, at what time would I return? If on the other
If,
hand
on the other hand,
you went out
you went
of the
out
room
of the
and
room
said I'll
and
be
said,
back
I'll be
within
back
an hour,
within an hour,
you'd return at
you'd return at
any time
any
between
time between
now and
now and
7:30.
7:30.
Do you think life will be discovered on other planets within the next 100 years? Do you think life will be discovered on other planets within the next 100 years? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I,
think life
I think
will
life
be discovered
will be
on
discovered
other
on
planets
other planets
within the next
within the next
100 years.
100 years.
Very good. Which is the main shopping street in your town? Which is the main shopping street in your town?
Uh, A-
Let's say ABC Street
ABC
is
Street
the main
is the
shopping
main
street
shopping street
in my town.
in my town.
Do you think that the difference between the people of one country and those of another is mainly a question of language? Do you think that the difference between the people of one country and those of another is mainly a question of language? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think that
I think
the
that
difference
the
between
difference
the
between
people
the
of one
people of
country
one
and
country
those of
and
another is
those of
mainly
another is
a
mainly
question of
a
language.
question of language.
Very good. What are the three forms of sing? What are the three forms of sing? The three
The three
forms of
forms
sing
of sing
are sing,
are sing,
sang,
sang,
sung.
song,
Mama, sing, sang,
sing,
sung.
sang, song.
Why are people so often in the habit of singing to themselves in the bathroom? Why are people so often in the habit of singing to themselves in the bathroom? People are
People
so
are
often
so
in the
often
habit
in the
of
habit
singing to
of
themselves
singing to the
in the
themselves
bathroom,
in the bathroom,
maybe because
maybe
their
because
voices
their
sound
voices
better in
sound
the
better
bathroom.
in the bathroom.
If you sang in public for a day, how much do you think you'd earn? If you sang in public for a day, how much do you think you'd earn? If I sang
If I
in
sang
public for
in
a
public
day,
for a
I
day,
think
I
I'd
think
earn about
I'd earn about 5 yen.
very good. Have you ever sung in public? Have you ever sung in public? Yes or no?
No,
I've
I've
never sung
I've
in
never
public.
sung in public.
Very good. Okay, and that's the end of our revision. Let's have new
Okay,
word. Very good. Okay, so let's have the first words. Okay, repeat. Profit,
profit,
loss,
loss,
business.
business,
Very good. Okay, listen. The word business is a noun. It is the activity of making, buying, or selling goods in exchange for money. For example, Japan does business with foreign countries like the Philippines, USA, etc. Profit is a noun. It is the money that you gain or made by selling things or doing business. Loss is a noun. It is the opposite of profit. For example, if I bought a business for £1 million and sold it again later for £250,000, I wouldn't be making a profit. I'd be making a loss. Let's practice. If you bought a business for £100,000 and sold it again later for £250,000, would you be making a profit? If you bought a business for £1 million and sold it again later for £250,000, would you be making a profit? No. If I
no.
bought
If
a
I bought
business
a
for
business
£1 million
for 1 million
and
pounds
sold it
and sold
again
it
later
again
for
later for
£250,000,
250,000
I
pounds,
wouldn't be
I
making
wouldn't
a
be
profit.
making a profit.
I'd be making a
I'd be
loss.
making a loss.
How much would your loss be? How much would your loss be? My loss be
My loss be
seven
about
hundred
750,000
fifty thousand pounds.
pounds.
Very good. Thanks. Repeat. Future perfect.
Future perfect.
Very good. Okay, now let's talk about the use of future perfect. Okay, so repeat. I will have eaten.
I would have eaten.
Very good. Okay, listen. We use the future perfect when we are thinking about time before and up to a specific point in the future. For example, if you know that you will be sleeping at midnight tonight, you can tell a friend, please don't call me at midnight. I will have gone to bed. This communicates that you will go to bed before midnight and that at midnight you will be in bed, probably sleeping already. Okay, let's practice. When do we use the future perfect? When do we use the future perfect? We use
We
the
use
future
the
perfect
future
when
perfect
we are
when
thinking
we are thinking
about time
about time
before and up
before
to
and up
a
to
specific
a
point
specific
in
point
the future.
in the future.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. When you arrive
When you
at
arrive
my house,
at my
I will
house,
have cooked
I will
dinner.
have cooked dinner.
Very good. What does that sentence mean? What does that sentence mean? That sentence
The
means
sentence
that
means
I will
that
finish
I will finish
cooking dinner
cooking dinner
before you arrive
before you
at my
arrive
house.
at my
When
house.
you arrive,
When you arrive,
dinner will be ready.
dinner will be ready.
Very good. Tell me the difference between those two sentences. At 9 o'clock, I will eat my dinner. At 9 o'clock, I will have eaten my dinner. Tell me the difference between these two sentences, please. At 9 o'clock, I will eat my dinner. And at 9 o'clock, I will have eaten my dinner. The difference
The
between
difference between
those two
those
sentences
two
is
sentences
that at
is
9
that
o'clock,
at 9
I
o'clock
will eat my
I will
dinner
eat my dinner
means I will
means
start
I will
to eat
start
my dinner
to eat my
at
dinner
9 o'clock.
at 9 o'clock,
Whereas at 9
whereas
o'clock,
at 9 o'clock
I will have
I
eaten
will
my
have
dinner
eaten my dinner
means that
means
my
that
dinner
my
will
dinner
already
will
be
already
finished at
be
9
finished
o'clock.
at 9 o'clock.
Wicked, will you have had your dinner before midnight tonight? Will you have had your dinner before midnight tonight? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
won't have
I won't
had
have
my
had
dinner
my dinner
before
at
midnight tonight.
before midnight tonight.
Will we have left this room in
Will
3 hours' time? Will we have left this room in 3 hours' time? Yes, we'll
yes,
have
we'll
left
have
this room
left this room
in three
at
hours'
in
time.
3 hours time.
At 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, will you already have got up? At 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, will you already have got up? Yes or no?
Yes,
At 10 o'clock
at 10
tomorrow
o'clock
morning,
tomorrow morning.
I'll already
I already
have got
got
up.
I've got up.
Very good. Will most shops in your town have shut before 11 o'clock this evening? Will most shops in your town have shut before 11 o'clock this evening? Yes, most
Yes,
shops
most
in my
shops
town
in my town
will have shut
will have shops
before 11 o'clock
before 11
this
o'clock
evening.
this evening.
Very good. Next, repeat. Minister.
Minister,
Prime.
prime,
Very good. Okay, listen. The word minister is a noun. It is the head of a high office in the government. For example, Minister for Agriculture or Foreign Minister. Prime is an adjective. It means the most important. For example, some countries call the most important minister in the government the Prime Minister. Let's practice. What's a government minister? What's a government minister? A government
a
minister
government
is
minister
someone
is
who
someone
has a
who
very
has a
important
very
job
important
in
job
the government.
in the government.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. Minister for
Minister
Agriculture,
for Agriculture,
Foreign Minister,
Foreign Minister,
etc.
etc.
What do some countries call the most important minister in the government? What do some countries call the most important minister in the government? Some countries
Some
call
countries
the most
call the most
important minister
important minister
in the government
in the
the
government
prime
the
minister.
prime minister.
Very good. Okay, next word is guess.
Guess,
Very good. One more. Guess.
guess,
Very good. Okay, listen. The word guess is a verb. It means to make a correct conclusion of something. For example, I am not usually able to guess a person's age. Let's practice. Are you usually able to guess a person's age? Are you usually able to guess a person's age? Yes or no?
yes.
I'm
I
usually
am
able
usually
to
able
guess
to
a
guess
person's
a
age.
person's age.
Very good. Next, repeat. Coin.
Coin,
Very good. Okay. Coin is a noun. It is a small, flat, and round shaped money. For example, I've got some coins in my pocket. Okay, let's practice. Have you got any coins in your pocket at the moment? Have you got any coins in your pocket at the moment? Yes or no?
no,
I
I've,
haven't got
I haven't
any
got
coins
any
in my
coins
pocket
in my
at the
pocket
moment.
at the moment.
Very good. Next, repeat. Cheers.
Cheers.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word cheers is a verb. We say cheers to express good wishes when we have a drink with somebody to say thank you, and to say goodbye. Okay, let's practice. In which situations do we say cheers? In which situations do we say cheers? We say cheers
We say
to
cheers
express
to
good
express
wishes
good
when
wishes
we have a drink
when we have a
with
drink
somebody,
with
to
somebody,
say thank you
to say thank you
and to say
or
goodbye.
and to say goodbye.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading.
Okay.
Very good. So our reading is at stage 5, paragraph page 324. Okay, and our last headword was alive. Okay, start with headword drop, go without.
Okay. Okay. Drop. Go without.
Mhm.
What am I